It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
Happy New Year! I hope it's been a good start to the year for you. It's certainly been a good start to the year for our wee campaign. Westminster has given us some fantastic gifts in the first couple of weeks of 2013. First we had wee Danny Alexander hand us the awesome news that if we take today's current economic figures and project forward what oil will net per barrel, then everyone in Scotland will be £1 worse off per year. And of course the oil would have to fall to about $20 per barrel. Let's face it, there are some very wealthy individuals in the world that would never allow that to happen. So the Yes campaign's assertions that every man, woman and child would be £500 a year better off in an independent Scotland seems all the more likely. Why thanks Danny, I didn't get you anything. Seems the morons do have their uses. We've also had a whole host of gifts from Alistair Darling so far this year. He failed to turn up to vote against the Welfare Benefits Upratings Bill, so it seems that poverty is not a concern of his. He's repeated his contradiction about how once we vote yes, there is no going back. And then later saying that we'd only end up back in a political union if we kept the pound. Yeah, alright. He also said that a currency union with the Westminster Parliament, as in an independent Scotland taking on the pound, means that our budgets has to be agreed with England, Wales and Northern Ireland. Which is what he says we have now. Do we? Do we really, Alistair? Let's check that out, shall we, on the bill you didn't bother to vote against. Here's how Scottish MPs voted. 9 for, 46 against. I'm fairly certain that is not agreement. Darling, Joyce and Reid weren't there and Charlie Kennedy abstained, so we'll say 13 voted for. Because I'm always said that you don't vote against something, then you must be for it. But all in all, 46 Scottish MPs, 28 Welsh and 10 Northern Irish MPs voted against the bill. Over 70% of MPs who represent 3 out of the 4 countries of the Union. So Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland said no, but England said yes, so we're doing it. That's not a union. That's not even close. You know what Darling was doing when he should have been in Westminster, opposing this evil bill, which will see 1 in 4 families living in poverty in the coming years? He was here in Scotland trying to convince people that we are better off under the rule of Westminster. The bill doesn't just hit people that are out of work. In fact, half of working families will be stung by it. And it will drive up child poverty right across Britain. Of course, Westminster's official figures won't show any rise, as they'll be changing the definition of child poverty to have a much narrower focus. And they say we are blinkered. And what did they do at the same time? They gave the top 10% of earners tax breaks, some of which are equal to over £100,000 per year. 3/4 of the Westminster Cabinet happen to be millionaires. Now every silver lining has a cloud, and this insult is just that. MPs want a 32% pay rise. I wish I was joking. When I first read that figure, I really hoped that they'd misplaced the decimal point. Bit further. Bit more. That's it. That's what I think they're worth. Not how much of a rise they should get, but what percentage of their current salary that I believe they are worth. Conservatives actually believe that they should be paid £97,000 per year, a raise of £32,000. Hands up if that's twice what you make a year. And yet Andrew Bridgen MPs reckon £65,000 a year is not a lot of money. But Andrew, you also get an average of £25,000 worth of expenses claims, taxpayer funded second homes, free food and drink, free travel, and then you've got your second jobs and interests. Andrew has a small role as a vegetable seller and he gets £7,773 per month for just 12 hours work. He also gets rental income for some properties he has. The average income in the UK is said to be about 26,000, but I seriously doubt it's near that for the majority of families. Most MPs earn well over 3 times that. If you want to earn more, Mr. Bridgen, then resign and get the £65,000 MPs get paid when they stop being an MP. You sir. Now, they claimed that all these cuts are necessary to cut the deficit. While I do agree that the deficit does need to be dealt with, the manner in which we do this is open to argument. They could implement the Robin Hood tax, which would raise $20 billion per year out of thin air. It taxes the millions of trades that happen in the City of London every day, and it helps to curb high-frequency trading, which makes the economy unstable. They could cancel Trident, potentially saving $100 billion. Yeah, it may cost a few thousand jobs there, but how many teachers, nurses or doctors could we replace them with? They could close some of the tax avoidance loopholes used by only the very wealthiest of corporations, who avoid an estimated 74 billion quid every year. The cuts only amount to a third of that money. But they won't do any of these things though. Instead, they are punishing the poorest and the most vulnerable, not just in Scotland, but right across Britain and Northern Ireland. Now, when I attacked the bill online, I was challenged to name the SNP's answer to a problem with welfare. Now, this is where Twitter can be a pain with its 140 character limit, because there are just so many answers to that kind of question, such as Nicola Sturgeon has set up a group to look into a welfare system based on Scottish values, or you're assuming there is a problem with welfare. That survey done not so long ago, which produced this infographic, and showed that welfare payments are not too high, it was only the public's perception of what they believe benefits actually pay people. Or maybe even, why does the SNP have to have all the answers? There's no guarantee that they'll be elected in 2015. It'll be up to whichever party we elect based upon the positive policies they'll offer Scotland. But then I thought about Joanne Lamont, Ruth Davidson and Willie Rennie and decided, no, we'll probably re-elect the SNP to run Scotland. In the end, I realised they'd made the old assumption that because I support independence, then I must be an SNP supporter, which I am not. So I just told them to away and ask the SNP for an answer. Now this is where Twitter can also be a benefit to unionists, because they rely on sound bites, false accusations, innuendo, all which fits nicely into a few words. I was told that the SNP had sold me a pup because the independence was an unworkable myth. Like this was a statement of pure fact. And this prompted a few more tweets from others saying that voting yes would be like going on a blind date. Which is nuts, because with a no vote you get almost the same. Vote Labour, get Tories. Or worse, vote Labour and get Labour. It's like a lucky dip. And when exactly was I sold this pup? The media certainly doesn't bother to promote SNP values or policies. The news seems incapable of saying anything nice about the SNP. The way things are reported these days is an utter disgrace. Malcolm X once said, if you are not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. And I'll tell you why I believe this is true. Westminster has accomplished this trick. They've got people attacking the disabled in the street, demanding that OAPs share the burden of debt, and accepting modern slavery in the form of workfare for the unemployed. Does anyone remember that it was successive Westminster governments, backed by greedy bankers, tax-dodging corporations and seriously wealthy individuals, who were the ones that really caused this economic crisis? Anyone out there that believes that Westminster has our best interests at heart and that they know best how to run our affairs, then it's you that's been sold a pup. Anywho, between all that, the collapse of the No Better Together bunch and Cameron's newfound love for referenda, I reckon we've had a good start to the year, and I'm feeling good about 2014. Until the next time, the word is and always will be yes. So go on, spread the word!
McVie realises that you may already know all this stuff, but you may know somebody that doesn't, so please get sharing. Vote responsibly.